And so what I do is I write down 2 things every morning. Some people may write 5, some people, whatever. I don't know if the way I'm doing it is right. It works for me.
Yeah.
And so I write down 2 things. And so I'll write down the thing, and I'll write down why I'm thankful for it. And if it's a person, I've actually just recently started doing this. Mm-hmm. If it's a person I'm thankful for, I then go and I tell that person, hey, I'm really thankful for you. Huh. And just imagine what that does. It makes me feel great. Yeah. But imagine being on the receiving end if somebody comes up to you and just tells you how grateful they are.
Just randomly, yeah.
So it's just great for the relationship of the person I'm thankful for.
Well, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you're getting a run in right now, listening to us. Free up some space in that belly before you mow down on some Thanksgiving feast.
Mow?
Mow, dude. That was my deal in college. That was all that. I got that from Reno guys. That was their deal. Oh, let's mow. Like, let's mow.
That's like hella.
Yeah, kind of. Kind of has that same bro feel.
That bro, Northern
that bro
California
feel for sure.
Gotcha.
But you're going to start using it now, by the way. Just so
I guess I am.
You guys want to go grab some mow? But happy Thanksgiving. Hey, look, I'm just going to start off. We're thankful for all y'all, for following us on this journey, being a part of it, for the feedback, for the interaction. We hope you've enjoyed it. We're super thankful just to have this platform, honestly. And so, today we're not going to go the traditional, like, hey, Ben, what are you thankful for? The Thanksgiving table thankfulness. Like, that's important. But hopefully you're listening to this before Thanksgiving. And if not, it's still really important just from a perspective of thankfulness and gratitude and all the things that really have gone on this year. But just want to kind of share some perspective that we've got here in regards to that. But before, we're going to talk about some other things that we're thankful for. And first is just our partners on the show. Mm-hmm. We've been really blessed to have some incredible partners. First, Choctaw Resort and Casino. Casino and resort, depending on which way you're driving. If you're coming south, it's one way. If you're going north. But really, really excited to have been partners with them for quite some time now. It's an incredible facility up there in Durant, Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. We talk about feasting today. There's no shortage of that there with the amazing restaurants that they have. The new expansion is just on point. Mm-hmm. It's 3,000 plus new slot machines, tables, like extreme VIP poker room. It's so nice. And then you've got music, you've got a movie theater, you've got spas, you've got pools. It really is Vegas in the South. And
I tell you what, Thanksgiving, we think of family, right? And for some people, that's a good thing, right? You got your whole family in town. Yeah. So take your family up to Choctaw Casino Resort. And other people, family, that's not so good. They don't like being around their family. So if that's you, escape from your family and head up to Choctaw Casino Resort.
You can even take them, score some points. It's big enough you can get lost by yourself. I promise you get some alone time. But Choctaw Casino and Resort, Durant, Oklahoma, right off of 75. It's so easy to get to if you're anywhere in Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana. It's awesome. And if you're not close by, it's an easy flight. Mm-hmm. So highly recommend it. And then also our other partner.
Our newest partner,
which.
Did you get your bed yet?
Long story. We have it. It is not set up yet.
Oh.
We're going through some things, and so we couldn't set it up just yet. So tomorrow is the day.
Well, I'm now, I guess by the time this airs,
you'll be a week
and a half in.
Yeah, but I want to hear, you have 2 nights on it, right?
But the day we record this, I'm 2 nights in. Ooh, and I'm telling you what, man, it's everything they advertised when we went in there, that VIP experience. And I've actually got the app. They've got an app that coincides with your mattress. I've actually got it pulled up. So we've been talking this whole time about the technology being next level. And obviously I'm a geek when it comes to this type of stuff. This stuff fascinates me. And I had a thought going in. It exceeds my expectations of the technology. I'm just looking at the app right now. I mean, it gives you a sleep score, which it's funny. Whitney the other morning, the first morning we had it, she grabbed my phone and she's going, I'm like, what are you doing? She's going through, she's trying to check out my sleep score and we're competing with each other because it gives you a score based on all of these variables. So for instance, it tests your resting heart rate, your heart rate variability, your breathing rate, how many breaths you take per minute. It tells you when you were in bed. It tells you when you wake up. It tells you the times that you got up out of bed. Like I went to the restroom at 12:30. It's got that time that I got up. It's got your circadian rhythm. All these different metrics that this freaking mattress takes to help you get a better night's sleep so that the next day that you're recovered. Because we all have been there. We've all had days where we're dragging. We've all had days where, it's not your best night's sleep. And so their goal is they know that you're going to be much more productive if you can get a good night's sleep. And that's what they've done. And they've freaking done everything. They've thought of everything. And it's incredible. I've loved my experience. You're going to love it here when you get this bed set up.
I'm a little bit jealous, man.
Yeah.
Not a little. I'm a lot jealous.
You're a lot jealous.
I'm right there. But Sleep Number, make sure to check them out, sleepnumber.com or your local store. It's a great experience. The experts there will walk you through the whole process, get you with the right bed, the right pillow, the right sheets. I mean, it's an experience that I would encourage you actually go through. So
absolutely,
we're thankful for both our partners, and hope to have a long-term relationship with both. So today, Ben, you do something that's really cool, and we're going to talk about a couple things, but as it relates to gratitude and thankfulness, and so often our life gets so busy and we get so stressed with job, with activities, with responsibilities, with events, with all these things that just like make life busy. It's really, really easy to lose perspective of all the great things that are happening. And you have a really good practice that you use that just helps you I got to keep that in the forefront of my mind. So talk us through what you do to keep a grateful perspective.
Yeah, and I definitely didn't make this up. I don't remember where I first heard this.
I wasn't giving you credit for it. I just said you do it.
It's a gratitude journal. And it sounds really cheesy. I get it. And I thought the same thing. I was like, how's writing something down? How's writing things down that I'm thankful for? How's that really going to help? My family, oddly enough, we would always get together. My big family, I'm talking cousins, aunts, uncles. Growing up, every single Sunday, we would get together for family lunch. And at some point along the way, it started to where we would go around the room. Didn't matter what day of the week it was, or what time of the year it was. We would say, one thing we were grateful for, one thing we're thankful for, and we'd go all the way around. And, most of the time, you're just kind of going through the motions, right? I'm thankful for school, or I'm thankful for my friends, or whatever. And you're not really thinking about it. What this gratitude journal has done, and this thankfulness journal has done for me this past year, since I started, is it's gotten everything in my head out onto paper that I can actually see it in front of me. It's tangible now. It's not just an abstract thought in my head. It's actually written down. And so what I do is I write down 2 things every morning. Some people may write 5, some people, whatever. I don't know if the way I'm doing it is right. It works for me.
Yeah.
And so I write down 2 things. And so I'll write down the thing, and I'll write down why I'm thankful for it. And if it's a person, I've actually just recently started doing this. If it's a person I'm thankful for, I then go and I tell that person, hey, I'm really thankful for you. And just imagine what that does. It makes me feel great. Yeah. But imagine being on the receiving end if somebody comes up to you and just tells you how grateful they are.
Just randomly. Yeah.
So it's just great for the relationship of the person I'm thankful for. So what am I thankful for, and why am I thankful for it? And for me, like I said, it makes this gratitude and thankfulness more real to me. It keeps me grounded in perspective of all the good things that I really do have going on. If I really look at my life, there's not much bad. Now, there's stress. I'm not saying I'm stress-free.
Right.
But this gratitude and thankfulness journal, what it's done is it's keeping me grounded and helped me put into perspective all of my stress and make me realize, hey, it's really not that bad. And things are actually going really well. And these are good things. And that bleeds into my day, right? So now if at work something goes wrong, I can take myself back. And again, I know this sounds really weird and crazy and like I've got like some hippie. Yeah. I get it. But it really is crazy how much of a difference it has made for me. Because I did this for a long time, and then for a couple of months just recently I took off. And I can really, and I mean, I've gotten back into it. I can really tell a difference in the way it makes me approach the day.
What I love about it is that, typically, there's really, and I can think of 2 times a year where you reflect and you say, okay, Thanksgiving, we say what we're thankful for. It's like a time of reflection. And then first for New Year's, right? As you're planning ahead, and a lot of times it's like, okay, hey, as we approach the new year, I'm thinking about next year. We've got some really, really good friends that every year the last weekend of December, they do like a staycation, and they get a babysitter for the kids, and then they go stay in a hotel. And then what they do is literally, it's not like, hey, we're just going to go do nothing. No, we're going to literally map out our year, our previous year, and really make sure we highlight all of the things that were great this year.
Yeah.
Because so often you go through a year and it's like, man, that was a really tough year. That was really hard. And that's kind of the story. Oh, last year was really tough, or last year was this. But when you actually, like you do in your journal, when you actually map it out, and I would imagine this exercise would be a whole lot easier for you because you've actually tracked it in real time, right? And so you can go back and be like, oh man, I forgot about that.
That is every now and then I'll go back and I'll read, what did I write in July?
Yeah.
What was I thankful for in June? And that's really cool to see and go back and reflect. And now I've got a full journal.
Yeah.
So I think I've got things going, if something's going bad or things or times are stressed, I've got a whole journal of reasons why I don't need to think that way.
That's right.
And and like I said, it's on paper. This is how I was feeling, because a thought that goes away, right? That eventually fades.
Right.
But if I write it down, now it's there forever.
That's right.
As long as I have that journal.
Kind of like Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
And so what this couple does is they'll do that, but here is the precursor to that is then they will write down what prayers they want for the next year, right? Like, hey, look, I'm praying that this gets answered, and this, and this, and these are the things that we're praying for this year. So what they do is when they look at their thankfulness is they'll go back and say, okay, now which ones were actually answered through the year? Because again, from a faith perspective, or wherever you come from, is you're like, man, I just don't feel like my prayers are getting answered, or I don't feel like the things that when in reality, when you look at it, you say, okay, hey, I want to make this much revenue. And you always forget that unless you write it down, or hey, I want to do this with our family, or we want to accomplish this, or we want to spend this much time doing that, or hey, we want this opportunity, or we want to be able to serve here, whatever it may be. And you just kind of you just pray so much for things, because typically when we pray, what do we want? It's like asking for something. Most of the time, I would say. And it's like, hey, be with me, or, help me, or this, or provide this, but then when you actually go back and you track it, and they're like, holy smokes, like, it's crazy. Not necessarily directly what we asked for, right? The Garth Brooks unanswered prayers. Like, it's not exactly what we asked for, but ultimately it was accomplished. And so there's a level of gratitude when you look at it from that perspective as you go back. If you write down, okay, hey, what I'm trying to accomplish this year, and then at the end of the year, you say, okay, hey, of that list, what was actually accomplished, what was achieved, what wasn't but was better because, and then there's just that level of gratitude. And so those are the 2 times a year that people focus on it. But what's really great about what you do is this sense of gratitude you're putting into every single day.
Right. And
I'm bad at this because I should have nothing but thankfulness for the opportunities. Yeah, like you said, I'm stressed. There's a lot going on. I'm a million miles an hour in a million different directions. You spend probably half your time trying to just reel me in, getting me focused. But it's like, and I think about it, I'm like, dang, when I retired from football, all it was, hey, just provide opportunities.
Yeah.
Like, just provide. And there are opportunities, and there's endless. So if I'm in the middle of a real estate transaction, for example, and things are going sideways with the landlord and they're being difficult, and I'm trying to, represent my client, the tenant, and try to work out a deal. And it's like, you get so frustrated, and I'm like, man, people just drive me crazy. Like, how can you be so shady, or how can you go against your word, or this or that? And I'm like, hold on, like, let's take a step back. This is an opportunity. I have a client, right? And yes, like, it takes work to get them there, but like, how many people in this industry would give anything to have this opportunity to be fighting with a landlord? And it's just a different perspective. And then with kids, it's like, I'm stressed because I'm going to, okay, I got basketball practice at 5:30, which cuts off work, but then I've got to go to another basketball practice now at 6:30, then we're not getting it home, and then I got to prep for the next day. And it's like, man, all I've wanted is my kids to do sports and be able to participate and coach and help and like all these things. And it's like, man, these are not things that I should be like. It just relieves that stress of all the things that surround it, as opposed to like just being consumed by it and then being negative because.
Yeah, and just it puts things, like I said, the perspective is probably the best word. And if you are writing things down, just think about the kid scenario, for instance. Yeah. You've got 4 healthy, beautiful kids.
That's right.
Right? And so writing these things down puts that in perspective. Yeah, you're stressed that you got to run around and do it, but you got 4 healthy kids.
Yeah.
And so just seeing it on paper, and we wanted to keep this one intentionally short. We wanted you to be able to get to your families and really spend the day. But our encouragement is simple. It's be truly thankful today. Yeah. Really reflect. And I would encourage you, Tyler, and anybody else who doesn't do this or thinks it's weird, take a chance and actually start to write it down.
Yeah.
So tomorrow morning, today, whenever is the best time for you for some quiet reflection, I challenge you, write down 2 things that you're thankful for and why you're thankful for those things. And just do that for a week, 2 weeks, whatever, and just see how if it doesn't do anything for you, fine. That's great. Then keep doing. But you got nothing to lose, right? You might as well at least try it. And so for me, again, I can only speak for myself personally and you know, the people that I got this idea from, it really does just put things into perspective. It settles me. It also helps me think that, or makes me realize and encourages me that life's not about me.
Yeah.
It's about, you know, much more than me and much things bigger than me. Mm-hmm. And so it helps reset me in my ego. So that's what I encourage today is for people to just write things down and truly reflect on what you're thankful for.
Yeah, and I think today, if you're listening to this on Thanksgiving, probably a good chance that you're going to go around the table and you're going to talk about what you're thankful for. Just have this in mind.
Yeah. Put some real thought into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't give the cliche, you know, surface level answer. Put some thought into it. Because I bet you it'll impact somebody else as well.
I totally agree.
We appreciate you guys. Like Tyler opened this up. We are and we're not just saying this, we are truly thankful for everyone that downloads this podcast, everyone that shares this podcast. That's the biggest thing that you guys can do to help us out is by sharing. And it doesn't necessarily have to be on social media. If you just text somebody, just shoot them a text and say, hey, this is what I've been listening to. These guys are really encouraging. I think it would help you out as well. So that would be awesome. Reviews are also very helpful on whatever podcast platform you listen to. 5-star ratings, please, are preferred. And then
if it's gonna be less than 5-star, just message us directly, and then we'll talk about it.
Just voices pleasure through DMs. But yeah, we're at Darren Woodson Show on the Instagram,
on the Instagram,
and then on YouTube as well. And guys, I'm gonna tease it here. This is all I'm gonna say. Whoop. We've got a big announcement coming up. That's all I'm gonna say. So be on the lookout. We've got a massive announcement coming up. I think you guys are going to be really happy with. So anyway, have a great Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, the best holiday of the year in my opinion. Hope you guys have a great day and a great rest of the week. We'll see you next week.